Advanced English words with meaning and use. Ubiquitous. Meaning, present or found everywhere. Usage, used to describe something very common or widespread. Example, smartphones have become ubiquitous in modern society. Alleviate. Meaning, to reduce or ease pain, difficulty, or suffering. Usage, often used when talking about reducing problems or discomfort. Example, the doctor prescribed medicine to alleviate her headaches. Meticulous. Meaning, showing great attention to detail, very careful and precise. Usage, used to describe people or work done with extreme accuracy. Example, she is meticulous in organizing her files by color and date. Ambiguous. Meaning, open to more than one interpretation, unclear. Usage, used when something is vague or can be misunderstood. Example, his answer was ambiguous, so no one knew what he truly meant. Conundrum. Meaning, a confusing and difficult problem or question. Usage, often used to describe tricky or puzzling situations. Example, choosing between two job offers became a real conundrum. Exemplify. Meaning, to be a typical example of something. Usage, used to show representation or demonstration. Example, her dedication and hard work exemplify what it means to be a great leader. Incessant. Meaning, continuing without pause or interruption. Usage, describes something that happens repeatedly or non-stop. Example, the incessant noise from the construction site was very annoying. Pragmatic. Meaning, dealing with things sensibly and realistically. Usage, often used to describe logical, practical approaches. Example, he took a pragmatic approach to solving the financial issue. Eloquent. Meaning, fluent or persuasive in speaking or writing. Usage, describes someone who expresses ideas clearly and gracefully. Example, her speech was eloquent and moved the entire audience. Resilient. Meaning, able to recover quickly from difficulties. Usage, refers to mental strength or physical recovery. Example, children can be surprisingly resilient after experiencing setbacks. Procrastinate. Meaning, to delay or postpone something unnecessarily. Usage, often used when someone avoids doing important tasks. Example, don't procrastinate, start your project today. Ambivalent. Meaning, having mixed feelings or contradictory ideas about something. Usage, describes emotional conflict or uncertainty. Example, she felt ambivalent about moving abroad, excited but also nervous. Perplexed. Meaning, confused and unsure of what to do. Usage, used when someone is puzzled or doesn't understand. Example, he looked perplexed when he saw the complex instructions. Astute. Meaning, having sharp judgment, able to understand situations quickly. Usage, refers to people who are clever or insightful. Example, the astute manager predicted market trends accurately. Diligent. Meaning, showing care and effort in one's work or duties. Usage, describes someone who is hardworking and responsible. Example, the diligent student studied every night for her exams. Benevolent. Meaning, kind, generous, and helpful. Usage, describes a person who is caring and does good for others. Example, the benevolent woman donated food to the homeless every week. Candid. Meaning, honest and straightforward. Usage, used when someone speaks openly without hiding the truth. Example, he gave a candid opinion about the project's flaws. Daunting. Meaning, seeming difficult to deal with, intimidating. Usage, refers to a task or challenge that feels overwhelming. Example, moving to a new country can be a daunting experience. Devious. Meaning, dishonest or deceptive, not straightforward. Usage, describes tricky or sneaky behavior. Example, his devious plan to cheat was soon discovered. Enigmatic. Meaning, mysterious or difficult to understand. Usage, often describes people or things that are puzzling. Example, the artist was known for his enigmatic personality. Frivolous. Meaning, not serious or important, silly. Usage, used when something lacks value or depth. Example. She spent money on frivolous items instead of saving. Gregarious. Meaning, sociable, enjoying the company of others. Usage, describes outgoing people who like being around others. Example, he is a gregarious person who loves meeting new people. Impeccable. Meaning, perfect, without any flaws or mistakes. Usage, used for behavior, manners, or appearance. Example, her impeccable style impressed everyone at the party. Intricate. Meaning, very detailed and complicated. Usage, often used to describe designs, systems, or stories. Example, the painting had intricate patterns and vibrant colors. Juxtapose. Meaning, to place two things side by side for comparison. Usage, often used in writing, photography, or design. Example, the film juxtaposes happiness and sorrow beautifully. Lethargic. Meaning, lacking energy, slow and tired. Usage, describes physical or mental tiredness. Example, after the long flight, I felt lethargic and sleepy. Nostalgic. Meaning, longing for the past, sentimental. Usage, refers to warm, emotional memories. Example, looking at old photos made her feel nostalgic. Oblivious. Meaning, not aware of or not noticing something. Usage, describes someone who doesn't realize what's happening. Example, he was oblivious to the tension in the room. Scrutinize. Meaning, to examine something very carefully. Usage, used when checking details or verifying something. Example, the lawyer scrutinized the contract before signing it. Versatile. Meaning, able to adapt to many different functions or activities. Usage, describes people or tools that can do many things. Example. She's a versatile actress who plays both comedy and drama well. Vindicate. Meaning, to prove someone is right or innocent after blame. Usage, used when someone is cleared of suspicion or false accusation. Example, the evidence finally vindicated her innocence. Transient. Meaning, temporary, lasting for a short time. Usage, often used for emotions, people, or events. Example, the joy of success is often transient. Opulent. Meaning, luxurious, wealthy, and rich in appearance. Usage, describes rich lifestyle, homes, or designs. Example, they live in an opulent mansion by the sea, superfluous. Meaning, more than what is needed, unnecessary. Usage, used when something adds no real value. Example, remove any superfluous details from your essay. Reclusive. Meaning, preferring to live alone and avoid others. Usage, describes someone who stays away from society. Example: the reclusive writer hadn't been seen in years. Capitulate. Meaning, to surrender or give in. Usage, often used for political or emotional surrender. Example: the enemy finally capitulated after weeks of fighting. Apathy. Meaning, lack of interest or emotion. Usage, used when someone doesn't care about something important. Example: voter apathy led to low election turnout. Disseminate. Meaning, to spread information or ideas. Usage, common in academic, media, or educational contexts. Example: the teacher disseminated knowledge through her videos. Idiosyncrasy. Meaning, a unique or strange personal habit. Usage, refers to odd behaviors or speech patterns. Example: one of his idiosyncrasies is talking to plants. Quell. Meaning, to stop or reduce something, especially fear, anger, or rebellion. Usage, used in emotional, social, or political situations. Example: the police tried to quell the protest peacefully. Myriad. Meaning, a large number, countless. Usage, describes variety or vastness. Example: she faced a myriad of challenges at work. Tenuous. Meaning, weak or slight, not strong or firm. Usage, often used for arguments, links, or chances. Example: the connection between the two crimes is tenuous. Reticent. Meaning, not willing to speak or share thoughts. Usage, describes a quiet or reserved person. Example: he remained reticent during the entire meeting. Convoluted. Meaning, extremely complex and difficult to follow. Usage, used for ideas, plots, or speech. Example: the book's convoluted plot confused many readers. Inundate. Meaning, to overwhelm, especially with things to do or people. Usage, often used for flooding, literally or figuratively. Example: she was inundated with emails after the announcement. Fastidious. Meaning, very careful and demanding about details. Usage, describes people who are hard to please. Example: he's so fastidious that he cleans his desk 3 times a day. Magnanimous. Meaning, very kind and forgiving, especially to someone less powerful. Usage, describes noble, generous behavior. Example: he was magnanimous in victory, praising his opponent. Austere. Meaning, simple, plain, or strict in manner. Usage, can describe appearance, personality, or lifestyle. Example: the room was austere, with no decoration or comfort. Disparage. Meaning, to speak badly about someone or something. Usage, used when criticizing or belittling someone. Example: she never missed a chance to disparage her competitors. Anomaly. Meaning, something different from the usual or expected. Usage, often used in science or analysis. Example: that strange result was an anomaly in the experiment. Deride. Meaning, to mock or make fun of. Usage, describes harsh or insulting criticism. Example: the critics derided the movie as childish. Impetuous. Meaning, acting quickly without thinking. Usage, describes impulsive behavior or decisions. Example: his impetuous actions got him into trouble. Lucid. Meaning, clear and easy to understand. Usage, used for thoughts, explanations, or dreams. Example, her explanation was lucid and helpful. Obstinate. Meaning, stubborn and refusing to change opinion. Usage, describes a rigid mindset. Example, he was too obstinate to admit he was wrong. Revere. Meaning, to respect deeply and admire. Usage, used for great figures, parents, or leaders. Example, they revere their teacher for her wisdom. Sycophant. Meaning, someone who flatters for personal gain. Usage, describes an insincere or overly flattering person. Example, the boss ignored the sycophants in the meeting. Trepidation. Meaning, fear or anxiety about what may happen. Usage, describes nervous anticipation or dread. Example, she opened the results with trepidation. Pernicious. Meaning, causing harm in a subtle or gradual way. Usage, often used for ideas, habits, or influences. Example, social media can have a pernicious effect on mental health. Nebulous. Meaning, unclear, vague, or ill-defined. Usage, describes uncertain ideas, plans, or explanations. Example, his explanation for being late was nebulous. Fortuitous. Meaning, happening by chance, usually in a good way. Usage, similar to lucky or accidental success. Example, it was fortuitous that she met her future employer at the cafe. Dogmatic. Meaning, strictly believing your ideas are correct. Usage, describes people who are rigid or closed-minded. Example, he was dogmatic in his opinions and wouldn't listen to others. Discrepancy. Meaning, a lack of agreement or difference between things. Usage, used when facts or amounts don't match. Example, there was a discrepancy in the billing report. Incessant. Meaning, continuing without stopping. Usage, describes something annoying or never-ending. Example, the incessant noise kept her awake all night. Ambivalent. Meaning, having mixed or opposite feelings at the same time. Usage, common for emotional or personal choices. Example, she felt ambivalent about moving to a new city. Malevolent. Meaning, having or showing evil intentions. Usage, describes harmful thoughts or cruel people. Example, the villain in the story had malevolent goals. Haphazard. Meaning, lacking order, random or careless. Usage, used when something is unplanned or messy. Example, his haphazard notes made studying difficult. Discrepancy. Meaning, a lack of agreement or difference between things. Usage, used when facts or amounts don't match. Example, there was a discrepancy in the billing report. Incessant. Meaning, continuing without stopping. Usage, describes something annoying or never-ending. Example, the incessant noise kept her awake all night. Ambivalent. Meaning, having mixed or opposite feelings at the same time. Usage, common for emotional or personal choices. Example, she felt ambivalent about moving to a new city. Capitulate. Meaning, to surrender or give in. Usage, often used in arguments or conflicts. Example, the enemy capitulated after weeks of fighting. Impeccable. Meaning, perfect, without any mistakes or flaws. Usage, used for manners, behavior, style, or work. Example, her grammar is impeccable, even in complex writing. Futile. Meaning, useless, having no effect. Usage, used when effort brings no result. Example, it's futile to try reasoning with someone so stubborn. Adamant. Meaning, refusing to change your mind. Usage, shows strong, unshakable opinion or position. Example, she was adamant about not changing her plans. Superfluous. Meaning, more than necessary, excessive. Usage, used when something is not needed. Example, delete any superfluous words from your essay.